Now joined by TSN Hockey Insider Chris Johnston. Chris, the Leafs come back from 3 goals down to win on Monday night. They've won 4 of 5, but today at practice, Craig Berube admitting he's feeling frustrated with how things are going right now. What's your sense of how the coach is handling this moment in time?
Well, it's been a tough start to the year, and you can see it through a lot of Craig Berube's words, his emotions. He's got to speak every day, so you're kind of taking a little bit of the temperature of the room through him. And I think what's interesting is he could have, especially the day after that loss, I think maybe focus on some positives, focus on the fact it is 4 or 5. But you get the sense that he's really searching for something here, and part of this is just injury related, which a lot of teams deal with over the course of a season. It's nothing unusual, but you've got Lawton and Lorentz coming back in the lineup. He's taking Easton Cowan out. It looks like Maccelli's coming back in. Like, it feels as though they really have not got settled in terms of what they want the lineup to look like, and that has a trickle-down effect. It impacts the players, and I think from the coach, he just isn't sure what's going on. And then he mentions the mental side of things, that he thinks a lot of this is really between the ears, so it's not necessarily something he's seeing with those specific trios or defensive pairings he's putting out there. So it just feels like it's been a tough, inconsistent start, and it's weighing on the coach.
How about the captain? Austin Matthews keys the comeback on Monday night, scores that first goal, addresses the team afterwards in the dressing room, says that third period, that's what we got to be, tenacious. How frustrated do you think Matthews is with the start to this season?
Well, he certainly didn't like the beginning stages of it. Didn't see the goals come at the same rate that we're used to seeing for him. But there's some signs of life here, right? I mean, if you're going to look at positives, scores a goal on Saturday in Philadelphia. It looks like the old Matthews with one of those shots, just straight up beats the goalie. He really leads that third period comeback against Pittsburgh, both with his offense, but I think just his physical play, killing penalties, the whole bit. I do think that there's a little bit of daylight on the horizon for how he's playing personally, but it hasn't been an easy start. And the good news here, my understanding is that Austin Matthews is feeling healthy, right? He's feeling good. And that was such a cloud over his season last year. I think it's natural to assume if you're him, you're feeling good physically, you have a great summer, you get into training camp, it's going to go perfect. Hasn't gone perfect so far, and so he's searching for it, but I do think you're starting to see some breakthrough on the horizon.
Matias Maccelli started the season beside Matthews on that top line, did not stay there long, hasn't really been able to lock down a fit on this roster, and now a healthy scratch on Monday for the first time. What's next for Matias Maccelli?
It's one of these games, he's still got to prove something to Craig Berube. Probably wants to prove something to Andre Turigny, who's going to be on the Mammoth bench for that game on Wednesday. And look, I mean, this is a player, certainly, he kind of fits in with the theme of this chat. Actually just, hasn't found his own place in the lineup. Ironically, some points had been coming for him prior to that scratch, right? 3 or 4 games, he'd put a point on the board. But what the coaching staff is asking of him is more than just that, right? It's establishing a bit of a forecheck. He's not physically an imposing guy, but can he get to the harder areas of the ice where offense can come from? I mean, he's going to have to be someone ultimately, I think, that produces offense in the lineup in order to stay there, in order to carve out his role. He's going to be on the third line, it looks like, for this game against Utah, so maybe won't be, the same order of the day with that trio. But, look, the motivation should be pretty high given the opponent and given what he's just been through by having to sit and watch his first game from the press box.
Yeah, Maccelli admitted it. This game means a little bit more to him against Utah. In terms of today's practice, defenseman Brandon Carlo not on the ice. Of course, he had a couple big shot blocks at the end of that win on Monday, but Coach Craig Berube says just maintenance. He will be ready to go on Wednesday night.